Already we back with the young. Got 15 dark cartoon theories that will ruin your childhood, man. Hey, y'all like the last one I did? I did a SpongeBob conspiracy theory, you feel me, by Alex Bells. Actually right here. But yeah, you feel me? That's doing good right now. So really fucked up because honestly, like the whole Miss Puff, all that. Like if you watched it, please go watch that video. If you haven't watched it, it's on my popular uploads. Go on my channel, right at the top. But the whole Miss Puff, what was the last one? Mr. Krabs is a murderer. You feel me? It really told you how, this what's it called? Hey, what's it called? The sponge, bro. Hold on, what's it called, bro? The Krabby Patty. Here we go. The Krabby Patty. We figured out what is in them Krabby Patty. That's why everybody love them. We figured it out. But hey, man, let's see what it be time.
For years, people have been uncovering disturbing hidden meanings and messages in children's cartoons. And some of them are so plausible, they can actually blow your mind.
Papa Smurf! Papa Smurf! I ain't gonna lie, I like the funny ones or like the sexual ones. Like those be the funniest. Like, bro, I did not even think about like how it was this whole time. They was on that. Like, that'd be so funny.
I'm fine.
From a hidden angel of death in a Disney movie to a popular cartoon show that turned out to happen in purgatory, here are 15 dark cartoon theories that will ruin your childhood. Number 15. Squidward's Theory. If you're familiar with creepypastas, you're probably also familiar with the Squidward meme of him taking his own life. The terrifying meme started in the dark corners of the internet like 4chan and Reddit, where people would modify still images of the show SpongeBob SquarePants and add a little horror and creepiness to it, hence the name creepypasta. That's where the meme of Squidward taking his own life began. In the meme, you could see the fictional character with a black background and shiny red eyes. It was quite horrifying actually, but it stayed amongst the horror fanbase of the internet for years, till now. The show's animators decided to incorporate the meme in one of their episodes, which is very strange since the main demographic of the spectators are still children and the subject is a little dark to say the least. The episode in question shows SpongeBob and Squidward as they explore a town that mysteriously doesn't adhere to the rules of logic. Then, suddenly, a row of doors appears, and Squidward proceeds to open one of them to see what's on the other side, only to find alternate versions of himself. At this point, the episode is already quite nightmarish, but it gets worse. One of the doors clearly shows him after taking his own life, and it's terrifying.
Before we go, why does it say after he take his own life? What does that mean? I don't get it.
Like this video, smash the subscribe button and click the notification bell right now, or this centipede will crawl on your—
Okay, buddy, all right. I'm down now. Hey, look, centipedes is not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea now. You chilling? No, you don't play no centipedes.
As crazy as dark cartoon theories go, this might be the darkest. Some people believe that Toy Story 3 is about the Holocaust. You know, when Adolf Hitler killed 6 million people.
Bro, what? Oh my god, low-key, it might just be, bro. Chill out. Nah, actually, my childhood might just be ruined now. Bro, if it actually go together, bro, oh my god, I ain't gonna lie. That's tough, bro. I actually like Toy Story.
Children's movie be about such a dark episode of our past? Well, for starters, the speech that Woody gives at the beginning of the film is almost identical to one in The Pianist, an award-winning Holocaust drama made by Roman Polanski. All the toys then decide to seek refuge in the attic, which is clearly a reference to Anne Frank, who was a Jewish little girl that had to hide in an attic from the Nazi soldiers. The toys are then all crammed into a box and taken away to a daycare center, which is a clear reference to the trains that took people to the concentration camps. You could argue that a daycare center's not a concentration camp, but in the movie, it isn't a happy place for the toys. The children constantly abandon them until they are too damaged. They then get sent down the waste chute, which might also be considered as a gas chamber. The similarities are too many to be a coincidence. Number 13.
I didn't even watch Toy Story. I don't watch it anyways, but hey, my kids can't watch it.
Mr. Krabs rescued Pearl from the hunters. There are a lot of different theories about Mr. Krabs and his daughter, Pearl, because as we all know, it would be impossible for a crab to have a whale as a daughter. The theory that seems to be the most accepted by the fans is the one that says he accidentally rescued Pearl when she was a baby because some hunters or fishermen killed her mother.
No, baby, no more crying. We'll get you a date.
So, seeing the little Pearl all alone and scared, Mr. Krabs just took her with him and raised her as his own. This theory really fits because, for example, Mr. Krabs has shown extreme fear of hooks and has repeatedly warned Patrick and Spongebob of the grave danger of being near them. Also, Mr. Krabs loves money and he hardly ever spends it or gives it to anyone. But if Pearl
Bro, God, though, how he's in low with money, but you've never seen him really do anything with his money. Now that I really think about it, bro, where does his money, like, other than the business he's running, but like, what else is he doing with that money, bro? I've never even thought about
asks
that.
him for money, he gladly gives it to her. Maybe he feels bad because he couldn't save her mother. There are many other theories about this subject, but this is the one that seems to fit the best. Keep it in mind the next time you watch the show. Number 12. The Smurfs are anti-Semitic and racist. Antoine Bueno is a professor at the Paris-based university Sciences Po, and he recently published a book where he analyzes the Smurf society and political situation. Let me explain. He thinks the Smurfs children's TV show is anti-Semitic. He starts by stating that Smurfs live in a political dictatorship. They are discouraged from taking any kind of initiative, and they all eat together.
Bro, what does that mean, bro? They're in an anti-what? Oh my god, I need to go to freaking history class.
Together in the same communal room. He starts by stating that Smurfs live in a political dictatorship. They are discouraged from taking any kind of initiative, and they all eat together in the same communal room. There's only one leader, and they rarely leave their home country.
Actually, I've never watched the Smurfs like that. Wait, is the Smurfs is a show or a movie? Wait a minute. I think it's a show. Definitely a show. But yeah, I never really watched the Smurfs though. I ain't gonna lie. Never watched the Smurfs.
I'm fine.
It's starting to sound like
one-
communist
one-
Russia, and
one episode.
there's more. Papa wears a... He starts by stating that Smurfs live in a political dictatorship. And then we have the #1 enemy of the state, Gargamel, which Bueno says is an anti-Semitic caricature of a Jew. In other words, your favorite kids show is a totalitarian utopia. There's even one episode where the Smurfs are bitten by a fly and their skin turns black and they lose the ability to speak. And that clearly has colonial overtones and also profound and clear racist traits. The craziest part about this theory is that it fits perfectly. It was right in front of our eyes all this time and we didn't even notice. Number 11. Snow White is about cocaine and addiction.
What?
The theory that the
What?
Disney movie Snow White is about cocaine addiction has been around for a long time, but it's easy to understand why. There are so many different coincidences that it might just be true. First of all, the name of the main character, Snow White. Now, I don't know if you know what cocaine looks
Snow
like,
White.
but it is
Come on now. Alright, my nigga. Alright, come on. Just because his name's Snow White, do not mean she be talking. They just trying to be reaching so hard.
so many
though.
different coincidences
Why
that
they
it might
reaching?
just be true. First of all, the name of the main character, Snow White. Now, I don't know if you know what cocaine looks like, but it is literally a white powder that looks exactly like snow. Then there are the names of the 7 dwarves, which are named after their personalities. And believe it or not, they match exactly the different stages of cocaine addiction and withdrawal. The first 2 are happy and grumpy, and those make a reference to the mood swings that are caused by using cocaine.
Jiminy crickets. Gosh, gee, what a monster. Covers 3 beds.
Addicts will have very aggressive mood swings several times a day. And then we have dopey, sleepy, and sneezy, which are nods to actual stages of being on the drug. Dopey literally means high. You sneeze a lot when you take cocaine because it's a powder and you take it through your nose. And then you finally
I'm about to
feel
say, why do you sneeze so much? Why are you? I would never try to take something that I have to sneeze every 5 seconds. I forgot that's how you take it though. But I think you could take it actually. Can't you take it through a needle, or is that only with heroin or something? I already know. Look, do not do drugs, kids. Don't even.
feel incredibly
Too
sleepy
much.
after having
Too
spent all
much.
your energy running about. And finally, we have Snow White's Big Sleep, which could be an overdose. Or is that going too far?
Oh, y'all tripping.
Number
bro.
10.
Nah, that's definitely
Winnie
too
the
far,
Pooh
bro.
and
Come on.
friends have serious psychological disorders.
It's kind of fucked up.
It
bro. I
has
ain't gonna
long
lie.
been speculated that every character in Milne's Winnie the Pooh series represents a psychological disorder, and recently the Canadian Medical Association Journal published an article where you can find every diagnosis.
Bro, what? Are you serious, bro? Yo, why are they, bro? No way, this is true, bro. Imagine all these shows was like this in real life, bro. I ain't gonna lie. It's kind of making sense, but I don't. It's like denial. You don't want to believe it, really, bro. If these is actually true, bro.
Is
I have no
believed to be
words.
suffering from, of
No
course, binge eating disorder. That means he has very low self-esteem that he tries to balance by eating non-stop. In real life, it's a
What?
very serious disorder that lots of people
I'm
suffer.
gonna say
Eating disorder. And recently, the Canadian Medical Association Journal published an article where you can find every diagnosis. Pooh is believed to be suffering from, of course, binge eating disorder. That means he has
That's a
very low
disorder?
self-esteem
Wow,
that
I
he
know
tries to balance by eating non-stop. In real life, it's a very serious disorder that lots of people suffer from.
Damn.
Oh, that happens to be my personal favorite.
Piglet was
My
diagnosed
personal
with
favorite.
generalized anxiety disorder, which means that everything would stress him out to a level of huge discomfort. Eeyore, on the other hand, was thought to have a dysthymic depressive disorder, basically a very serious case of depression. If you feel like your childhood feelings could take some more heartbreak, good, because there are some more diagnoses. Tigger's disorder seems quite obvious. He had ADHD because he was so hyperactive and impulsive. And finally, Rabbit was diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder. This can be extremely dangerous in real life. It makes for very toxic people that enjoy making others suffer. Which one did you feel you identified with as a child? So basically, Winnie the Pooh and friends were just a bunch of insane individuals completely denying their disorders and, in a way, validating each other's behaviors. If they were people, it would be called codependency, and it's not an easy thing to avoid.
Codependency. What is that?
Number 9.
Codependency.
Garfield is dying of starvation.
Oh, Garfield loved what?
A series
How?
of Garfield comic strips was released in October
He loves
1989
spaghetti.
that literally freaked
not spaghetti,
everyone
lasagna.
out. They were about Garfield waking up only to realize he was in an empty and abandoned house, and finally accepting that not only was he alone, but that he had been for many years already. So basically, all
what?
the joyful strips that we are all so fond of a grumpy, lasagna-loving cat were merely Garfield's dream, his way to escape from the nightmare of his real life.
Say swear to
I
God.
can't believe you
Say
tried to give
swear to
them
God.
away.
People were very quick to come up with their own theories. Some thought the cat had died and gone to hell. Others thought that Garfield was a stray cat starving to death and hallucinating about a home and an owner that fed him every day. The second theory is one that seems to make more sense, given that Garfield mainly only dreamed of food and is absolutely obsessed with lasagna. Although Jim Davis, the creator of Garfield, has often repeated that the Halloween strip was just a way of freaking people out, there were still a lot of skeptics out there that think all the other strips were a dream inside the Halloween one. What do you think? Number
I
8.
feel like y'all taking. I feel like they taking it way too far. He literally just said, even though it might just be a cover up, but still though, they literally just told you that it was just for fun, basically. When he says a Halloween strip, so it's supposed to be like, you know, just like a flip side. He loved eating food, and now he's starving, like just for fun. Like y'all taking it, y'all. He said this, and y'all running down the street. Y'all taking it this far. Y'all are going to South Africa with this. They gave you one thing, and y'all going to fucking across the globe.
Scooby-Doo was set during an economic depression. Have you ever wondered why it is
Economic
that every
depression?
single
What?
one of the places the characters in Scooby-Doo visit is completely run down? There is an urban legend that says it's because the show was set during a terrible economic crisis that was so devastated it even affected celebrities.
Wait, what is Scooby-Doo about? Wait a minute. I think about it. What is it about? Because they like be catching people, but they don't. Do they be trying to catch them, or they don't try to catch them? I don't think about it. I don't know. It's kind of because it's like if they really was trying to catch like ghosts and stuff like that, or the robber or whatever, the person that's, you know, making them go through all this stuff, then they really just be trying to. They basically like like a police force, but just not in the police academy and shit. Like it's not in the police. It's not police, but it's kids being police, I guess. I don't know. I don't know about. I forgot what this was about. All these shows, I forgot about all these.
Famous athletes and important scientists. Why else would all these people with the skill sets of having high-paying jobs devote their lives to petty crime by putting on costumes of scary monsters? It would also explain the fact that every school they visit is empty without any sign of student life anywhere.
Old Horrible really said a frightful mouthful.
But we're not gonna let that scare us.
And finally, given that the gang is constantly driving their van with no clear destination, there's a big possibility they're simply homeless nomads. The other famous theory about Scooby-Doo is that him and Shaggy are very high all the time. And if you think about it fits. That's why they sleep all the time, and they're constantly hungry, called the munch.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, Scooby snacks, the Scooby fruit snacks, those are literally the best fruit snacks I've ever tasted in my life. Y'all know the Scooby fruit snacks? Please try it out. These are the best ever.
Jeez. It also explains why
You might find the best brand. I already know the best brand for fruit snacks, but they're gonna try all of them, bro, because one of them go crazy.
they're very slow and forgetful, all signs of marijuana smoking. And finally, the darkest theory for
high all the
last.
time.
Some people
I
think
ain't
that
gonna lie. What's his name? I don't know his name, but he definitely gonna be high as I don't know about the dog, but he definitely high. Okay.
Shaggy's actually a drug addict, aka a junkie, and his drug-induced hallucinations make him believe that his recently deceased dog is still alive and can even talk. I bet you'll never see this show the same way ever again. Number 7.
Wow.
The Brenda Theory. The Powerpuff Girls are one person.
What?
According to this conspiracy theory, the Powerpuff Girls are not 3 different girls with superpowers, but rather 3 different personalities of one very normal girl called Brenda. It is believed that Brenda developed dissociative identity disorder, also known as multiple personalities disorder, after years of enduring savage bullying from her brother. It's important to note that this disorder is very real, and it's only caused by a person suffering from an experience so incredibly traumatic, they literally invent another personality that is more equipped to deal with the pain. So Brenda creates 3 different girls with very different character traits that bravely—
Wait, who is Brenda though? Like, where is she at then? Is she all of them? Brenda must be all of them, but like, if Brenda's like, I mean, I guess it's a cartoon, so you guess you can like anything can happen. But I'm saying like, if you're gonna make 3 different personalities, isn't it supposed to be like the main person, then the other 3? Or does she just literally split into 3 people? Like, I don't understand.
fight the villains on a daily basis.
Leave it to me. I'll kill him with kindness.
That would mean the entire show takes place inside of Brenda's imagination. Her bully of a brother becomes Mojo Jojo. And as you might remember, Mojo Jojo was created by Professor Utonium, meaning he's the Powerpuff Girls' big brother. So Buttercup represents Brenda's anger and desire for revenge, and on the other hand, Bubbles represents her sensitivity and sweetness. And finally, Blossom is the perfect example of what kind of girl Brenda wishes to be: calm, beautiful, and highly intelligent. Finally, we have the Mayor, who represents Brenda's helplessness and desire to ask for external—
Increase your ROI.
What? How's the mayor gonna be? What? That don't make sense at all. What are you talking about?
Google.
Bro, how you even, bro? Nah, bro. Hold on. I go back, bro. I don't know what he's talking about.
of girl Brenda wishes to be: calm, beautiful, and highly intelligent. Finally, we have the Mayor, who represents Brenda's helplessness and desire to ask for external help. So Brenda has elected him mayor because both of them are very similar. This theory fits so well with every detail, it's hard to believe it's not true. Number 6. The Rugrats are all in Angelica's imagination.
Who's Angelica?
Have you heard of the Rugrats never happened theory? It's a conspiracy that started on Tumblr, and it basically speculates that the babies in the TV show were all made up by Angelica to cope with her absentee parents.
Bye, kids.
Interact socially with Tammy.
Tumblr user Radio Retaliation explains it this way: Chucky died with his mother, which explains why his father is such a neurotic, nervous wreck. Tommy was a stillborn baby. That would explain why Stu,
I ain't
his
gonna lie, I
father,
definitely
is
do like the Rugrats. Rugrats definitely bring back memories, no cap. Rugrats? I'll fuck with the Rugrats.
Always in the basement making new
Okay.
toys for the son he never had the chance to meet and play with. And finally, the DeVilles had an abortion, and because Angelica had no way of knowing the gender of the baby, she opted for both. Twins, a little boy and a little girl. Ugh, this one's giving me goosebumps. This theory completely changes the tone of a seemingly innocent and fun children's cartoon. Basically, Angelica was building an entire group of friends in her head, friends that could have been around her, but death took them away. And in ad-lib thought, she's also able to take out her aggressions on them and they can't abandon her. It's a little too dark for a toddler to watch, don't you think? Number 5. Ash from Pokemon is in a coma.
I never was in Pokemon, so I ain't never feel me. I ain't never got into Pokemon.
This theory revolves around the fact that in the first episode of Pokemon, Ash fell into a coma after being hit with Pikachu's supercharged thunder attack. It wasn't Pikachu's intention to hit Ash, of course. The idea was to hit a flock of Spearow, but somehow it backfired. So some people believe that everything that happens after this event is simply Ash dreaming from a hospital bed where he will be in a state of coma for years. One of the facts that supports this theory is that Ash never grows older and never changes his appearance.
Who, me? I thought it was awesome.
During the first season, he says at one point that he's 10 years old, and he remains that age all throughout the rest of the seasons. If a kid falls into a coma, it's logical that it will remain his age in his head until he wakes up again. It would also explain Nurse Joy and
Wow,
Officer.
that's kind of like, I never thought about actually being in a coma. It's like I figure out. I wonder if it's like if you like you know how you dream and stuff like that. So it'd be like a whole bunch of crazy ass shit. Like dreams never really be like. It's kind of weird because you never like, even though you like kind of know your dream, but you kind of don't at the same time. You just don't really think. Like whenever I dream, I should say, whenever I dream, I just dream, and then I just like basically I just be watching it like it's a movie or something, and it be me doing shit, or I'm watching somebody do something to me, or some crazy ass shit. You feel me? It's always never something like, you feel me? And every time I wake up in the morning and I think about my dream I just had, I be like, see, when that happened, I should have already knew it was a dream, because I low key want to get into I heard people say they can control their dreams and stuff like that, so I'm trying to figure out how to do that. You feel me? I don't know. I feel like that's like some real like controlling like your mind and your, you feel me? Like that's what I'm trying to do, to be honest. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's real for sure, but it sounds fun though. You feel me? You can dream about whatever you want to dream about, and you get to pick out like what it is, and like, you feel me? It's like it's your whole world of imagination. That's what I'm trying to do. I don't know if it's true or not.
Sir Jenny being
know.
exactly identical everywhere he goes. The explanation of them all being identical sisters is highly improbable. What if they're figments of his imagination? Another strange thing that supports this theory is the fact that Ash never progresses past a certain point, which is very suspicious. Number 4. Peter Pan is the angel of death. Peter Pan is an all-time Disney classic. Aside from being a little bit racist, it's also hiding a secret meaning. There's a theory that stipulates that Peter Pan is actually an angel that is guiding children.
When they say it was being racist, bro, hold on. I need to hear about that first. Why he gonna say beside love being like racist and then not tell us about the racist part?
Or Neverland.
I have a feeling a little trip to Neverland.
And that's why the kids never grow up, because they are all dead. And when you dig into the origins of the Peter Pan story, it all makes too much sense. Maybe even a little too much for comfort. It turns out Disney isn't the original creator of the story, but Scottish writer Sir James Matthew Barrie. And the original title of the book was Peter and Wendy. And Barrie lost his little brother David in a terrible ice skating accident only 2 days before his 14th birthday. The two brothers were very close, and this loss deeply affected both Barrie and his mother, who took solace in the idea that their son would never grow old this way. Knowing this, it becomes evident that David could have been a strong source of inspiration for Peter Pan. But there's more. When we look into the name Peter Pan, we quickly realize that Pan was an ancient Greek god. Pan was a mischievous deity of the woodlands and is often associated with innocence and immortality. Because Barry's no longer around, we can't really ask him if this theory is true, but there's a very big chance that Peter
did
Pan
the person that made the movie die? Oh shit.
is in fact an angel of death. Number 3. The Cars Overthrew Mankind. If you've seen the Pixar movie Cars, you know they're set on this planet, but at a time in the future when there are no more human beings. So what happened to us? Why are we
I like that though. I like what's it called? Cars? Wait. It's called Cars, right? It's called Cars. It's Cars. Alright, it's named Cars. Anyways, I ain't gonna lie, I do fuck with this one too. I do like this one.
longer around? Was it another media?
Especially this part. Oh my god. Especially when they was driving on a freeway, they fell and a dude fell asleep with the dude that was carrying I forgot his name, but he was carrying him, he fell asleep.
You're right, like the
That's
one
my
that
favorite
wiped
part,
out
bro.
the
Oh, that shit
dinosaurs.
cold, bro. I
There's
love
the
this part.
theory that the cars simply took over and overthrew us.
That did not happen.
Oh, yeah? Says you.
Spotify!
This theory stands as one little piece of the much larger and more complex Pixar theory that tries to tie together all of the Pixar movies, but I digress. The world where the Cars characters live has clear signs that we existed before. I mean, we created Cars for ourselves, so the movie is set on this planet. What probably happened is that we started creating smarter and smarter cars to the point that they became sentient, and when that happened, we became, well, dead weight. This theory's been backed up by Jay Ward, who's the creative director of the Cars universe. So I guess it's not a theory anymore, but a cold hard fact. The cars in the Cars franchise became smarter than us and simply took over this world. I bet you're gonna look at your own car differently the next time you go for a ride. Number 2. Ed, Edd, and Eddy are living in purgatory. The theory of
What is a purgatory?
Ed, Edd, and Eddy in purgatory started in the year 2012, and it speculates that, basically, they're all dead. Take a look at the color of their
Bro, why is all
tongues.
of them around by everybody just living in their imagination or whatever? Like, what? Come on, my guy.
For example, they're all blue or green. Only
Everybody
dead
just
people
dead
have
and
tongues
shit.
like that. And also their skin color, which is of a strange yellowish tone, exactly like dead people. There's also the fact that there are no adults in the show. They're constantly mentioned, but they never appear. And that is very suspicious.
Stay calm, Eddie. Think. I know. I'll hide it.
And the fact that they are all in purgatory would explain the irregularities within the time frame of the cartoon. Sometimes you can see typewriters, sometimes VHS machines, and in other episodes they are using computers. And that doesn't make any sense. Usually, in a normal setting, you wouldn't use electronics from that big of a range in history. So the theory says that this happens because each character's from a different time of American history, from the 20s to the year 2000. And that's why there are so many historical discrepancies. We can't know for sure if the creator of the show explicitly did this on purpose, but it really fits. Number 1. Wile E. Coyote is in hell. Wile E. Coyote is a classic kids cartoon that debuted in 1949, and the show consists almost exclusively of the coyote trying to catch the Roadrunner and failing miserably time after time after time again. The Roadrunner always outwits the coyote at the last minute and gets away in a very mocking way. If you've seen this cartoon, you know that the coyote has his plans backfire in his face quite grandiosely thousands, if not millions of times. But he always seems to come back to this nightmarish world where the object of his desire is always at arm's reach, but he can never touch it. Sounds like torture, right? There's a theory that stipulates exactly that. The coyote would actually be stuck in his own personal hell for all eternity. It almost sounds like the Greek myth of Tantalus, a punishment from the gods, doomed to eternally be thirsty but never being able to drink water. I don't know about you, but I think that eternal suffering as the main
Well, you
theme
have
for
to
a
his
kid's
body?
show seems a little bit dark, don't you think? I don't know about you guys, but I didn't expect so much darkness hidden in my favorite cartoons. It's a
Hey man, I don't know what the fuck going on. Even I ain't. It's like all of them about like imagination and people dying and shit like that. Like I don't, you feel me? I don't really know. Some of them was like a stretch. You feel me? Some of them was right, but it's like you never know. You feel me? But hey man, y'all like, comment, subscribe. Comment from me yet to next man. Follow me on Instagram. That's where I'm most active at. On the grind to 1K man. I'm out.